Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Stafford on first down. He gets it left side to Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
First down, Lions.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we look? Well, he's into the clear. Touchdown, Detroit. J.D. McKissick, his first touchdown of the new season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This is taken at the 3. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
First down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Go. 280. I'm going to run you over.
They run with Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. And this is Ertz with it. Right side. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie second-rounder from Penn State. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Second and 6 at the Lions' 32-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. It's a second down run with Sanders. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Hey, watch the lane. Check it back, check it back.
Sunday. Kill.
Wentz now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the... The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 22-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is Darren Sproles. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Running from the gun with Howard. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity late.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Devon Kennard. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is fielded at the 7. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Tackles.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 36, Wentz. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Hurts over the middle. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
13 yards on the play.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On first down, Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Wentz now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 more there and another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Jones. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack.
Don't get nervous.
To try again after the sack. Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Check three.
On third down, this is Howard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Jake Elliott set to kick off.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Stafford. James has got it, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
A gain of 7.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Stafford. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Here's Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Lady! I'm coming after you! I'm coming after you!
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down.
And he's going to go down again. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game. Yet, they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
They're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They go counter with Howard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Here we go. Waiting.
Check.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. It's complete. It's Sproles. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Back man. 180. Sunday.
Here we go.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
Waiting.
51. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. This is Howard on second down. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now Wentz. Flush to his right. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
They'll run with Clement, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Corey Clement, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, and the Eagles have taken the lead. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Amendola catching it left side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. And they've got to go thank the guys on D.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard.
51, Mike 50.
Now Wentz. And he will find his man on the outside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now they toss out wide to Sanders. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Slam. Check.
On second down now, it's Howard. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 25-yard line.
If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Stafford now to throw. And James has it. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. To throw is Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the ground, this is Johnson. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
The Lions, first down.
Set, 280. 52. 52's the mic. Give me that ball, defense. Give me drill right, 22. You got it.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the 2, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
Set, go 20! Let's go, baby, they turn over. Get that ball! Get that ball!
Third and long, it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. There's Sam Martin now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. Now Sproles. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Check nickel, 21!
They'll run with McKissick. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
32! You think you won't get this?
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
1st down, Lions.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Amendola now, jet sweep. Oh, what a juke into space. And I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
Yeah, boy. That's our ball. Every time. Keep putting that ball on the ground. That's our ball.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Wentz to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Wentz on target there to Jeffrey. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now Justin Coleman brings him down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go with Howard again.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And we're going to get whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the extra session. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Eagles are going to win the football game. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. A long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Philadelphia, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.